If you've listened to our podcast for pretty much any time at all, you've heard us talk about the Pacific Crest Trail. Well, we have a whole bunch of episodes dedicated to that, but we've done other stuff after the Pacific Crest Trail, and we think it's high time that we talk about that. So what you're going to be hearing today is the first of a 3-part series covering our Tour du Mont Blanc trek. Actually, after we finished the PCT, we didn't go back home immediately. We went and did more stuff, including a trip in Mexico, which is what we're talking about in this episode, and the hiking therein, or maybe the lack thereof. All the food in Mexico, and how we actually got to France to go and start the Tour du Mont Blanc. In next week's episode, we'll talk about our start of the Tour du Mont Blanc, exactly what it is, and tell you a lot of our tales and experiences from it. We mentioned earlier this year that we want to get back into telling a lot of stories because stories are what people love and they really resonate with folks. So welcome to our Tour du Mont Blanc story. I'm one of your hosts, Yeti Legs, and you're listening to the Yeti Walks into Base Camp Talking Through Hiking podcast. Show for thru hikers, backpackers, hikers, tree huggers, and anyone who loves to walk outside. We're a hiking podcast with a goal to make the outdoors more accessible for all of you by telling stories, sharing information, and having folks on that offer advice, gear, and peace of mind. We also like to talk about environmental topics and what's happening on our planet. Knowledge is power, and as lovers of the great outdoors, we want all of us to feel a bit more empowered. This episode is brought to you by Leave Outdoors and Sky Goat. You can listen through the episode to win free stuff from both of them. Leave Outdoors is giving away a free Alpha 90 hoodie, and Sky Goat is giving away your choice of either a beanie, neck gaiter, or pair of gloves made out of their custom Sky Goat material. All right, let's hit the trail.
Well, hello.
Well, hello, everyone. It's been a while since the two of us have been here.
I know you haven't heard my voice in a minute.
It's because Marie is very, very pregnant right now.
And busy.
And busy with work.
Yeah. I feel like work has been amazing this year. But of course, being pregnant, this is how this would happen. But more than that, I just think my mental load and my emotional and physical load is just capped right now. So yes, the podcast, unfortunately, I've needed to take a little breaky break.
It's true. For those who are just listening, I feel like it's only appropriate for us to introduce ourselves real quick. You'll hear my voice on a lot of the more recent podcast episodes. I'm Yeti Legs.
And I'm Base Camp.
And you're listening to the Yeti Walks into Base Camp.
Talking
through
hiking
podcast. We just want to talk to you about hiking and hiking related stuff and environmental topics from time to time. And that's our show.
Yeah.
So we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Welcome. We're really glad to have you.
And we're glad that Base Camp is here today as well, because I couldn't talk about this subject without her.
Yeah. We decided, okay, some of these I don't have to be a part of and like sit down for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what's happened. It's really difficult to sit for that long now.
Yeah, no, she's got like maybe 45, 60 minutes is pushing it, sitting time. And even that, she's like starting to get uncomfortable
Antsy.
And cramp.
Yeah.
By the time this releases, she'll be in her 3rd trimester.
Definitely. I'm already in my 3rd trimester. Literally, we're a week out.
Yep. How are you feeling?
I don't know. We just had our first doula date.
What's a doula?
They help you prepare for the birth, and then they are there for the birth. They're there for the labor. So the doula we have, she is coming to our house once I go in labor and just stays with us until we're ready to go to the hospital. She's our advocate at the hospital for anything that I need and want, and whatever Wesley needs and wants as well. I'm really thankful we did a doula, because after going through like just all the steps of birth, and then also even postpartum too. I mean, she just did such a good job kind of walking us through, okay, here's the steps, we want to take if it's a vaginal birth. If it's a C-section, it's different. But she just walked us through kind of what to expect. And I'm just so thankful that I'm just glad we're doing this. And she also was like, hey, this is your birth. And so if you don't like a nurse or you don't like a doctor, you can say, I don't like them. And I will go over and I will say, hey, we don't want them anymore. Yeah. And that just really meant a lot to me because I'm feeling more empowered to know what to expect when it comes to birth. And because birth can just be so terrifying for a female. You know, you're literally, a baby is coming through your vagina, which is very intense.
Or maybe not.
Or not, but it's still a surgery if you get a C-section. Like, you still have to get an epidural. You still have to go through all these procedures. And the birth of a kid is a really scary thing, I feel like, for a lot of women. And so, I don't know, having a doula just really, it's helping ease some of the concerns I had, but also terrifies me as well to think like, holy shit, this is like real now. As she was walking us through it, I was just envisioning, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen in 3 months. Like this is an inevitable.
There's a little through hiker.
There's a time clock going off. And so I think the reality started to come in today. Like, oh my gosh, this is getting very real.
And if you've listened to our podcasts from basically the beginning, you know that we have had on the show and talked about this hiker named Deuces before. Well, this is Deuce's sister. She's actually a doula.
Yeah.
So we're really grateful to have her. If you live in Colorado,
you should, and you're having a baby or want to have a baby, you should totally look her up.
Oh yeah, we're happy to share her information and get you that connect.
Yep.
But some really gross stuff I learned today.
Oh my God.
I learned that an epidural, they stick a catheter into you. It's not just a shot. I thought it was just a shot and it numbs you, but it's a shot that basically sets in a catheter that is constantly, like at intervals, releasing this anesthesia into you.
Yeah. And I can also push the button. The other thing I didn't know is that they put a urine catheter in you because you can't feel anything once you have an epidural. I was like, that would make sense, I guess.
Yeah. And they do not want your bladder full at all.
Once the baby's coming in.
Once the baby's coming.
Yeah. There was a lot to learn today, but Wesley's going to try to catch the baby if we do.
I'm going to catch it.
If a vaginal happens. I continually say maybe vaginal, maybe not, because apparently I have a low-lying placenta currently. They aren't too concerned yet. We're going to go back in for a 32-week ultrasound and just check all that and see if it's still low-lying. If it is low-lying, this is what I learned, is that I could bleed out when the baby's coming, if we don't do a C-section. And so they're very concerned about that. If it's still there and the placenta is too close to the cervix. So that's the reason why I say we'll see if I have vaginal, which could still be a possibility at this point. We'll find out at 32 weeks.
We will find out.
But that's not why we're here. That's our baby update.
I know. Huge baby updates, huge life updates, really, because baby is life.
I'm so big now. Like, I think the hardest thing for me mentally.
You can hike. You can still hike.
I can hike, but I am so limited in hiking. And in living in Colorado, we live up at 7,000 feet. I'm climbing still 8, 9, 10,000. We just did a 12,000. But it's really limiting because I have to listen to my body. I have to look at my heart rate. I have to not fall. Like, there's just so many factors involved. And I don't know. I know there's a lot of women, they do different things and it's your body, it's your choice kind of thing. I think that for me, because I have asthma, it's been a lot harder to climb and hike like it used to be. And also trying to figure out, when is it okay to push my body and when is it not okay for the baby? And that's been a really hard place to live right now. It's been really physically limiting for me. And that's just been a rude awakening of just having to process that as a thru hiker. And some thru hikers probably can still backpack and be fine. Maybe if we lived at lower elevation, we could do a 20-mile backpacking trip and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I think living at such high elevation, it's really taken a toll on my body.
I saw a thing on Instagram. So it was just a pregnant woman to me, and she was trail running. And I didn't know this, but she is apparently like an ultra elite ultra runner.
She actually has won Western States. She's won Leadville twice. She's actually set the record for Leadville 100.
I showed it to Marie and I was like, see, you can still go out and do badass things right now, Marie.
I started bawling because as I started talking about it, I was like, this just feels so... Like in the video, it's like, you can do more than you think you can when you're pregnant. And this woman was like 8 months pregnant. I'm like, fuck this. This just hurts me because I'm having to work right now. Financially, we need it. Like just to be able to save up for the baby and take off time. And so I'm not able to just go outside and wander around for 12 hours like I probably would want to.
Yeah.
But to compare an elite ultra runner, like I know they were trying to be encouraging to women, but she was just kind of like, you can do more than you think you can do when you're pregnant. And I'm like, that just really hurt because I could do so much before I was pregnant. And now I feel very limited because my body is not... It's just not doing what I want it to do. And
your brain isn't.
And I'm scared to push it because if I push it too hard, what if I hurt the baby? What if I go into preterm labor?
Yeah.
What if I fall and really hurt both me and the baby? Like there's just so many questions that I'm scared. Like I'm just scared to go past a certain point right now. Whereas before I just push my body hard and I'd go climb a 14er and do it and run down. Like it's just not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, oh, if I run, I could easily trip and fall. And that's just not what I want to do.
And you get out of breath just sitting here talking.
Yeah. Like my heart rate goes up to 120 when we're just walking on the bike path.
That's mean. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
No, but it's like my heart rate's like 91 right now.
Just sitting here.
Yeah. So anyway, just I'm sharing an authentic, transparent, emotional process of being a thru hiker and being pregnant. It's
definitely debilitating a little bit.
And I think a lot of it is because we're up at high elevation. I think if we were down in Utah, I could easily do 20 miles right now and not think about it. And my belly would be tight. I'd need water. And then the doctor's like, well, you don't want to be in the backcountry in case you fall.
That's another piece of it.
It's just like, damn it, this sucks.
You're like, get this thing out of me. I'm going to go run.
Yeah. Like I'm ready for him to be out so that we can explore together.
After you recover.
Yeah. Well,
because there's a recovery period.
After I recover. Ugh.
I know, it's
I'm
a whole
just ready to be back out there pushing my body. But
so today we're going to reminisce about when we did push our bodies quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. We realized, I don't know. I think there's this question of like, what happens after a thru hike? And for us, the PCT, we actually took the rest of the year off. We saved up enough to just travel or do whatever we wanted. And so we thought, you know what, why don't we share with you the like post PCT journey that we went on? Because it was pretty cool.
And so this is going to be the first part of a 3-part series where we're covering, it's really our post PCT experience, but largely it is going to be our hike on the TMB or the Tour du Mont Blanc. But we did some stuff before we got to France and started the TMB. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to basically cover what happened
before.
Yeah, like right whenever we got done with the PCT and what got us to France to go and hike the Tour du Mont Blanc.
Because that wasn't on our list. Like it wasn't like we were like, okay, we're going to do the TMB after the PCT. It wasn't an intention at all. It was definitely an organic process for us. And so we want to kind of share and go through post PCT, where we were at. And also, I think it's really helpful for people to know, what does your body feel like after a long thru hike and how do you recover from that, Yeah. So yeah, we want to kind of cover that basis. And at some point, we'd love to talk about the mental benders you go through post thru hiking, because it's a lot on your body and your mind.
Yeah. And we've kind of talked about that in those mental and emotional challenges of a thru hiker.
But I felt like that was more like during thru hiking.
Yeah, that was more during, and we did that a long time ago at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to do that like more current now that we're a little bit more seasoned and we felt more aches and pains.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah.
Now that we've been in it for a few years.
So if you listen to our PCT saga, that's like a 20 to 30 part.
It's a long one, you guys. So if you're
episode.
bored or you're through hiking or you've just had a baby and there's nothing else going on in your life,
Yeah.
check out our PCT
Go
saga.
listen to all the PCT ones.
We break it down week by week, which is great.
Even though it's hot outside, the nights can still be a little bit cool or in some places even freezing. To cut weight in my pack, I've started carrying clothing that I can wear during the day and in the sleeping bag for warmth while reducing extra ounces. For me, Leave Outdoors hits that sweet spot. With Alpha Direct tops, beanies, and pants, I cozy up in my sleeping bag with my back hurting a tad bit less at the end of every day. Cameron, the founder of Leave Outdoors, offers Alpha 60, 90, and 120 hoodies with different weights and therefore different warmth, but they're all only a handful of ounces. The bigger that Alpha number, by the way, the warmer the layer. He also sews a waterproof jacket weighing around 4 ounces. Let me let that sink in for a second. I know your jaw just dropped a little bit, didn't it? 4 ounces for a rain jacket. Use the code Yeti Walks into Base Camp. That's the name of our podcast at leaveoutdoorco.com for 10% off Alpha hoodies, sun shirts, and even some new DCF dry bags he's made. But if you don't believe my testimony, then you can try out a free Alpha 90 hoodie for yourself. Tag us at Yeti Walks into Base Camp and 2 of your friends on your favorite Leave Outdoors Instagram post. The first one to tag us gets the swag. Thanks, Cameron, for sponsoring the show and for keeping the load on all of our backs a tad bit lighter. If you have or have not listened to the PCT saga, let me tee up where we are after we finally finished the PCT. So we did reach the northern terminus, spoiler alert, but the trail was on fire. We got back and Marie's mom and her cousin came to pick us up in Mazama, Washington. And I am sick as fuck.
We find out, and that's what was, so
I had COVID.
So the day we finish the day we get out of the trail at Hart's Pass, we had taken this huge ass car down. These Ukrainian hunters took us down with a few other people in the back.
And we paid them, of course.
And we paid them, yeah. And there was a whole line, right, of people.
It was an army of people.
I mean, there was 150 people up there. It was just insanity. And everybody's trying to get out of the trail. And we were one of maybe 5 people that had finished the trail that were there. And then, so imagine 150 people there. And only 5 of us have finished it. And everybody else is not going to.
Yeah, so the mood is sour.
The mood is just very sad and grieving. This Ukrainian, 2 hunter guys were going down, and I think 8 or 9 people could fit in there. And so we were a part of that list. And they were like, "Are you okay paying?" We were like, yes, we're ready to get out of here.
We get to Mazama, eat. I feel like dog shite. And so I'm like, Marie, I need to go lay down in our tent. And so we stayed at the Lion's Den, which is the place that all the hikers go and camp out at.
And what was wild too, though, is we had ordered pizza. You didn't eat anything.
I couldn't.
And so we take a whole pizza back to our tent.
I had a fever. I was lightheaded.
He was shaking.
Couldn't eat.
Yeah.
I am sweating night sweats throughout the entire night that night. I do get some sleep. I never threw up or anything. Wake up the next morning and the guy that's helping run Lions is "Hey, by the way, I got COVID."
And that's the guy that took us back to trail.
That's the guy who had taken us back to trail. So I'm sick with COVID. Marie's elderly mom and cousin are coming to pick us up. And we let them know. And we're we understand if you don't want to, or we can do take some tests and wear masks and sanitize constantly and all that, and drive with the car windows down. And they're "No, it's fine."
Well, and also it's
COVID
because,
recently.
literally both of them had COVID within that month.
So they were fine.
So they felt fine about picking us up. We were like, "Oh, good." And I never got it.
No. You were very effing lucky.
Yeah. It was kind of weird how I never got it, though, because we exchange bodily fluids all the time.
I know. Gotta love those kisses.
Yeah.
But Marie's cousin and mom, they drove us back to her cousin's house. And they have a really cute piece of land and house out in the woods.
In Washington. We stayed there for maybe a week. And what I remember from that week was that, your cousin is an amazing cook. Yeah. Man, she cooked us some incredible food.
And I remember watching The Rings of Power.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. We watched The Rings of Power with them.
Didn't even know it was a show until we got there.
Patty, my cousin, was like really excited about this new show. And so we all would watch it with them.
It was a game changer.
It was great. And then remember we just did a lot of hiking
around there, even though I was sick.
Yeah, like we would do literally like 6 or 7 miles a day just to like move our limbs.
And the question I have for you is, let's talk physically first. Physically, how did you feel at this point? Because this is about a week after being done with hiking.
My feet were killing me.
They were sore,
my
weren't they?
My feet felt bruised, but my body really wanted to get out and just walk and hike. I just constantly wanted to walk or do something like, but it also felt really good to rest too. It was a weird dichotomy of like, okay, can we just get out and do at least 5 miles? And 5 miles felt like just nothing.
I just remember my feet like feeling like I had been stepping on a lot of like
lava rocks,
lava rocks, but with my bare feet.
Yeah.
Like they felt raw, but also very tender and bruised.
Yeah.
Even. I would use the word bruised. And I was just really hungry.
I think too, my body was just all the lactic acid. That was a part of wanting to like move, was because the buildup of just soreness was starting to hit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a mix between both worlds, but eating a lot of food.
So yeah, we did spend time with family there, a little bit in California. And then we went and saw some more family in Florida. But we were getting a little familyed out, and we had plans to
go to Mexico.
We
figured it would be, we had all these flyer miles. We had a shit ton of flyer miles. It was like 200,000 miles that we had that we've been saving up and banking. So we were like, well, let's try Mexico.
And we wanted to go and hike.
We wanted to hike in Mexico.
And little did we know that hiking is
frowned upon.
Not encouraged for white people.
If you're going by yourself. And we did not want to go with a tour group.
Yeah.
Or a tour guide.
Because we thought that was too gimmicky.
And we didn't want to pay like $500.
And so our dumb selves, we booked a flight, not to Mexico City or like a really touristy area. We booked a flight
to Morelia.
Morelia, which is the cartel capital of Mexico.
Which we didn't know. But also the reason we did this is because I think the miles were like 5,000 per person.
It was much cheaper.
It was super cheap.
And now we know why.
Yes. But honestly, I think out of all the places we went in Mexico, it was the safest place I felt.
You felt safe there?
I felt safe in Morelia.
Because you didn't feel like you were being sniped by tourist hunters?
Yeah. I felt safer there than I did in Oaxaca. It was honestly a lot of fun in Morelia. Like, it's pretty cool. I liked it there.
Yeah. They really love to sing
the sound of silence.
Sound of silence.
The first night we were there was a bar across from our hotel, and all we can hear are people singing the sound of silence and harmonizing.
Yeah.
Like at a karaoke, I guess, or something. And it was like probably 20 or 30 people. And we heard that song so many times.
Their hearts were in it.
Yeah, they loved it.
And I need to emphasize that we are working on a very tight budget at this point. We don't have much money left over after that hike.
Yeah.
So when she says hotel, I'm talking like a bare room with a bed and running water. And you can't drink the tap water there.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was the other reason we thought Mexico. Because we were like, well, it's cheaper.
Yeah, well, it is.
And it was, but we thought we could save by doing some hiking or some like cool trails for a week or so.
Yeah.
But as we start to learn, a lot of people are like, no, you should not do that.
Well, first of all, like where we were in the city, there was no easily accessible trail.
No.
Like there really wasn't much naturescape in the area.
It was just city and Morelia.
It's kind of just city, yeah.
Yeah, but we would walk like 10 miles a day, just walk around the city and eat food. We ate a lot of food.
A lot of street tacos.
Yeah, and mole.
Lots of great mole, but mole doesn't get great until you get towards Oaxaca.
Yeah, so we kind of worked our way down Mexico, and we had no plan, no itinerary,
which was really nice.
So we would just book a hotel for a couple nights, figure it out, and then be like, okay, do we want to stay here for a couple more days, or we want to go somewhere else? And then we were like, let's go to Pueblo. I think was the next spot.
The next place was Puebla after Morelia,
and it was so cool.
Puebla was like a kind of an artsy town.
I liked Puebla more than Morelia, but like.
I like Puebla.
Yeah, they had this really cool parade when we were there.
Yeah.
And they were giving out shots of tequila.
I want you to explain how we got to Puebla.
We took a bus. I mean, I remember the bus going to Oaxaca.
Everywhere that we went in Mexico, we
took a
got
bus.
to with a bus. And I'll tell you what,
Those buses are insane.
they don't give two shits about making you feel safe when they're driving because they are going to whip around those corners.
Yeah. We would book nicer buses, I know. When I made sure we got like a nice
seat, and we would get the buses that supposedly have Wi-Fi, but not once did we figure out how to make the Wi-Fi work. Or maybe
they just didn't work.
It just didn't work.
I don't think they worked. Something we learned about Mexico, and this is not anything, it's just truly an observation, is that in Mexico, they would make it look like one thing, but it was another.
What do you mean?
Like one of the hotels we stayed at in Puerto Escondido, and how it looked amazing, and it was very expensive. And when we got there was like cockroaches.
Oh, you mean the photos?
Yeah. So like the misrepresentation. Yeah. So I think there's a couple times in Mexico we had an experience where there would just be a misrepresentation of what we're seeing.
And look, that happens every single day in the U.S. too, but we're emphasizing it because this was like our quote unquote vacation, and it was like a series of unfortunate letdowns.
Yes. It was,
like not bashing one country over another.
No,
right
I loved Mexico.
Oh, totally,
the people were so amazing.
They were so sweet.
Yeah, they were amazing. And the food, oh my gosh, like Mexican food here does not compare to Mexican food there.
Not even close.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Fresh. It's fresh there.
It was fresh. But I just remember the parade in Puebla. You took a tequila shot.
Damn right I did.
They were just like literally, I mean, people had just bottles of tequila and they just pour them in this little wooden shot glass and just give them out to people.
Oh yeah. There were like, everybody was dressed in white, and there were people in, was it some type of a solstice event or something?
It was it was some sort of event that they were celebrating.
That's what I think it was. And they were all dressed in white, and they had their large like straw sombreros on, and they were dancing around, and there were people in like tall costumes. And they, like she said, they were giving out tequila shots, and they had like these long boards with shots on them.
Yeah.
And it was just a really fun time. And somehow they gave one to the gringo.
Yeah, they instantly saw you. I'm like, you, gringo.
Yeah. Puebla also there was one district, like a very large plaza, and there were these two guys dressed up in Native American garb.
That was so cool.
And they were playing, I swear to God,
The Sound of Silence.
They were playing The Sound of Silence. But one of the instruments they used was a freaking ocarina.
Yes.
Like from Zelda.
Yes, they did.
Anything with the word goat in it automatically grabs my attention, but I'm also kind of partial to watching those fainting goat videos on YouTube. I first came across Sky Goat, not up in the clouds, but here in Colorado at a sustainability conference, and immediately became hooked with the cozy yet lightweight gear that Ram, its founder, comes up with. Sky Goat creates technically functional, comfortable, and yet stylish apparel built for adventure, travel, and everyday life. Made with custom goat grid recycled fleece fabric and thoughtful design, the gear delivers lightweight warmth, breathability, and all-day comfort wherever the outdoors takes you. I wear my camp hoodie on a near daily basis when it's cold outside. It's cozy, sexy, and it keeps the cold edge off when hiking or when out in the field. Ram is giving away a free beanie, neck gaiter, or even a pair of gloves to one lucky listener. Go start following Sky Goat on Instagram, tag us at Yeti Walks into Base Camp, and two of your friends on your favorite Sky Goat post, and the first person to do that will be the lucky winner of their choice between a beanie, gaiter, or a pair of gloves. First come, first serve. We'll be sure to reach out to you when you do it. If you like the goat grid feel, you can hike on over to skygoatusa.com for your own hoodie, beanie, gloves, or even a poncho. Plug in the code YetiWalks20, that's YETIWALKS20 to get 20% off of your entire purchase. Thanks, Ram, for sponsoring this episode and for believing in our show. We actually did a hike here in a sunflower field.
Sorry, I'm thinking about the end of this hike when we got to the top.
Oh my God.
So we kept seeing INRI everywhere. And
like
who's
INRI.
Yeah. And I'm like, who's INRI? Like, this person must be very important to this town, because we kept seeing INRI with like little homages, or, I mean, it was just like
And there was one where Henry was carved into a cross, and we're like, oh, is that a dedication?
Yeah, like we just kept thinking, man, Henry must mean something to these people here. And so we're doing this hike up this climb to this point.
It's the top of a hill.
And we get there, and there's a huge ass cross with Henry.
And it still says Henry on it.
And so we look it up.
Like, what the heck? And we didn't have great service here because we're kind of running on like bad service / Wi-Fi. We do finish that little hike, and it's really beautiful because, again, you're in a sunflower field. They had all these wildflowers blooming. There were different groups of people out there harvesting the sunflowers, and it was calming and quiet out there. And I didn't really once fear for my safety, despite all of the all trails comments that you see, and you're like, oh, started this trail, I was mugged 0.2 miles into it.
Someone pulled a knife on me. Yeah.
Like, damn.
we were being very cautious, but no one bothered us at all.
No one did. So we leave that trail and we hike up a hill that takes you to this beautiful cathedral. And we get in there and we see Henry painted on a wall right underneath an image of Jesus.
And it dawns on me.
And I'm like, Henry's freaking Jesus.
So now we have this like running joke. Anytime something crazy happens to us where we should have died,
like,
or like there's this massive favor on our lives because of some door opening, we're always like, Henry. It was funny. It was a funny nod.
So that's our story about Henry.
Yeah. From there, we went to Oaxaca.
By bus.
And because everybody told us we needed to go to Oaxaca.
And Oaxaca, whenever you like type in places to visit in Mexico, Oaxaca pops up.
It's one of the like destination places because their food is
Mecca.
Phenomenal. Their mezcal and their cheese, their Oaxacan cheese is like on point,
and their mole. They're known for
their mole. Their food, their mezcal, and they were. We went to an incredible mezcalita. I can't say it.
It's okay. We know what you mean. A place that sells mezcal.
Yeah. It was amazing. And it was a one eye. It had one eye in the logo, which I think it was one eye was the name of their mezcal.
Ojo Uno.
Yeah. The cool thing about Oaxaca is you can literally go to any mezcal place and it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be freaking amazing because you're getting it from the source.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, I miss the mezcal. If you've never had mezcal, it's like...
Oh, it's good.
It's the smoky Scotch version of tequila.
And I'm not a big tequila fan, but man, mezcal's good.
It is. Mm-hmm. And it's deceptive because it doesn't taste super boozy. Like, Tennessee whiskey, it might. But... Yeah. So we've been really eating a lot through Mexico through the last 2 towns. We did that one cute little hike. We've been sightseeing. And then we get to Oaxaca and we're really like putting on the glutton here in Oaxaca.
We just need to hike.
We need to hike.
And Oaxaca also is just surrounded by beautiful mountains.
I know. And Oaxaca does have beautiful breweries.
Yes, they do.
Like the craft beer scene is coming up.
It is in Oaxaca. So we're there and we're starting to look at trails and we're at a coffee shop and I think we're asking them there was a white girl who worked at the coffee shop and she said, do not go out.
She said, do not go out and hike. Just the 2 of you. She said, do not walk the streets at night.
Yeah.
She bikes home a very specific route.
Yeah. She said it's gotten really bad and because they're targeting tourists and taking, unfortunately people are getting robbed and like knives out and guns. And so,
which is unfortunate because like Marie just mentioned, Oaxaca is right next to the Sierra Madres, which is a beautiful gorgeous mountain range. It means, the Mother Mountains. Really the only way to get there is by a very long taxi ride or by doing these, and there's a specific word for it, but it's basically guided tours. And they hike you from mountain village to mountain village.
And they have huts and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not like pitching a tent really. It's accommodated, but you're still hiking out there. And it's a form of, was it ecotourism? Is that the word?
Yes. And we did think about it, but I think I was to the point where I was like, I don't want to be with a group of people and hiking in nature. It might sound awful, but it was just one of those things where I was like, I am so used to us being out in the backcountry without a ton of people around.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. Like, I just didn't want that at that time.
I mean, I kind of don't blame you.
Yeah.
And I was kind of there too. I
Yeah.
think I was starting to get a little depressed at this point.
Same. Me too.
Because I felt like I really wanted to continue hiking and, utilize that hiking body that I developed.
And we, that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
And we thought we would get that in Mexico. And at this point, though, we decided to go to Puerto Escondido. I wanted to see the ocean.
And it sounded like hiking in the mountains was kind of a no-go. There were some some volcanoes. It was like a decent taxi ride away. But again, it felt like literally an all-day event. And I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable doing it because I didn't know enough about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So you wanted to go to the beach?
I really want to go to the beach. We had never been to the beach together. And the beach used to be a big part of my life growing up. We would go to the beach every year for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Living in Alabama, we'd go down to Seaside. We'd go down to like just the white beaches, the Pensacola area.
Yeah.
And have like a family vacation. So I really was like, well, since we're here, we should go to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
And so we found this place from Oaxaca called Puerto Escondido, but it was going to be like a 6 to 8 hour bus drive. Right?
It
was going to be a long ass bus drive. And this is the only bus I truly remember.
And let me just tell you, before we got on this bus, we were at the brewery. Okay. And so we had some food and I had 3 or 4 beers while we were playing a card game waiting for our bus.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the bus station to get on your bus. You don't just go to a bus stop, right? So we went to the bus station and I am pretty lit.
Yeah.
And we get in our bus and we are honestly the only 2 white people in there. And that's fine. Truly. Because we're in the heart of Mexico at this point.
Yeah.
But this officer gets on the bus with one of these 1990s camcorders.
Yeah.
And he's videoing everybody in the bus, but he holds it on us for a long time.
Stops and literally puts it on us, both of our faces individually and then together. And then he keeps walking and then he leaves.
And the reason they do this is because
this specific stretch
is a little sketchy. And sometimes, these buses are stopped by cartel and they'll sometimes rob and or take people. And so they
recorded us in case we were taken, and we didn't know that at the time.
From Oaxaca to Puerto.
When did we find that out, though? We found it out later.
After we were in Puerto.
Yeah, thank goodness nothing happened to us, and we were fine. But it was one of those moments where you're like, holy shit. We're just 2 white people with backpacks on.
Yeah.
We have nothing. Why would you want us?
And y'all, this is one windy ass road. And thank God there was a bathroom on this bus.
Wesley just upchucked.
Yeah, 45 minutes into the ride, they're hitting these turns going 60 miles an hour. And y'all, my stomach just could not handle it. So I went in the bathroom, threw up. And I come back out and I'm out for 10 minutes and I go throw up again.
Yeah, it was bad for you.
Yeah. After the 3rd time, I just sat in there on the floor for a few minutes and just waited. Eventually,
I felt so bad.
Eventually I vomited myself into exhaustion and just fell asleep next to you.
Yeah, I felt so bad for you. I think because it was also an overnight bus too.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be an 8-hour bus.
Which is kind of cool.
It was like a red eye for a bus. But we got into Puerto in the morning. The sun was up. We have no itinerary. So we have not booked a place. We don't know where we're going. And this is kind of how through hiking was for us. You get into a town and you figure it out as you're at a brewery. So that's what we were going to do. So we get into Puerto and we're like, okay, where's a breakfast spot? We just need food.
We do find that.
And you were hungry at that point.
Because I had nothing in me.
Yeah, everything was gone.
It was all gone.
So we did find a cute little restaurant.
Found their Wi-Fi. Found a place to stay.
That had cockroaches.
Went to that place. And I need to emphasize that this is towards the end of September now. And we're in a coastal town in Mexico. And it is hot as hell.
Yeah.
So we get to this place. And the only sort of air conditioning they have is the fan. There are roaches in there, and it had looked kind of nice.
And we were paying nice though. It was we were paying for Mexico rates.
Yeah, it was not cheap. So we'd booked it. We checked in, super hesitant, but we're exhausted. I'm especially exhausted because of being sick. And we decided to try and make the best of the situation. And we found a spot to go to the beach at. We go to that spot, and I mean, the beach is full of people. Like, there are folks like at all the little cabanas and all the little restaurants getting drinks and food. Everyone's like getting into the water, and they've got their tents and everything set up, or their umbrellas and everything set up. And I remember sitting there at one of the bars, and we're drinking micheladas, and I'm seeing cats everywhere. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. There are cats. And then I realized that we're all walking around barefoot on loose sand. And I'm like, we're all walking in one giant effing cat litter box, aren't we? And sure enough, there are little cat turds all over the place if you start looking. But the beach was fun because they had these guys like taking people out on boats. And then they would run them up on the beach. And once they, got shored, they would have to pull them all the way back up to their like little dock or wherever they would set them. And one of them got stuck, and they were like calling people in the crowd to come and help out. And they pointed to me.
They
pointed to me, and I'm like over here, white as can be, in like a cut off Dragon Ball Z t-shirt.
Literally.
And they called me over, and it was fun.
In your short shorts too.
And I helped pull the boat.
And he is the only white person around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he pulled that thing up with them. I took a video of it.
Yeah, with my ginger man bun and everything.
It was amazing. And you were like, yeah, like you were so excited.
Yeah. We got into the ocean a little bit, but really all this was there to do, if you weren't a surfer, was to eat and drink and
which is what we did.
Whale flop around the ocean.
We just ate and drank there, I feel like.
I could tell that you were starting to get frustrated and antsy though while we were there, because we were there in Puerto Escondido after leaving that hotel. We moved to another one. We were there for about a week.
We were there for a while, but it's because we were trying to figure out what the fuck we were going to do.
Yeah.
But we found this really sweet hotel that was right close by the ocean, like literally within walking distance.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. And they had air conditioning, and it was definitely like worth the price of paying.
Mm-hmm.
And we had decided this will be our last stop. We're going to fly out of Porto. And that was another thing too, is they had an international airport at Puerto
Which
Escondido.
is huge.
And that was a big part of going there, because we were like, wherever we go next, we're going to fly out of here. And so we were just trying to figure out what our next move was going to be. And so we were there for a while, it felt like, but we kind of got to know some places. Like we went to this restaurant regularly. Remember that restaurant with the
breakfast place
with the abuela and
on the
sun
corner. Yeah.
And they had the best food. Like I felt like we went there like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
We tried a lot of food
and
there.
it was fresh, man. If you
so
order
good.
anything with fruit, it's like fresh cut stuff.
It was
It's
so good. And they were so nice.
I know.
They were so nice. And the abuela came out a few times. Like it was just a cute place.
Yeah, they would come and check and make sure everything was okay.
And no one was there. Like we were the only people
why.
there. It was just a little diamond in the rough that we found. But it was honestly, Porto was nice. Like I actually enjoyed my time there.
Yeah.
Just being by the ocean. And we, the place we decided to book second was really close to the ocean. So we would go and hang out by the ocean. And I'll never forget when we went and had sushi.
Our last night there, we go and have sushi, and we're like, oh, well, it's a coastal town.
Yeah,
it's got to be good.
Let's drop some money and have some sushi. It's got to be good.
Y'all.
Oh, so good.
Kroger sushi puts the stuff to shame. Like
we were like, this is not sushi.
It was vile. Vile? It was vile.
But it was right on the ocean. And we were like, oh, this will be so romantic. And it was just a disaster.
At what point did we decide, hey, let's leave Mexico, blow all of our flight miles.
And go to France?
And go to France, though.
I don't remember which one of us had this idea, but one of us had the TMB idea. And maybe we both had thought about it. I'll never forget where we were. We were at this little restaurant. And we were sitting there, and I think we were both just frustrated. And we're like, we just need to get out of Mexico. Like, I want to love Mexico, and now I'm resenting Mexico.
Because we feel stuck.
Because I feel, like I want to get out and hike. And I want to feel free to hike.
Yeah.
And so I remember we were sitting at a little restaurant. We were just talking and brainstorming. And one of us came up with the idea, what about the TMB?
Yeah, we were like, outside, but it was on the second story.
Mm-hmm.
And the place was owned by this like expat who would come down there and opened it up. And we were talking to him and he was like pouring us mezcal shots and stuff. And we're sitting up there and we're like, what the hell did we do? And as we usually do, we make our best decisions under the influence.
When we've been drinking.
And somehow we got on the thread of hiking in France, like the T&B specifically.
The T&B was on our list, but we just didn't think we could do it because we thought we were already out of season.
We had a couple on our list in Europe, like T&B, the Via Francigena,
Corsica, GR20, GR5. Like there's a few in Europe that you can do that are amazing.
Yeah. And I had popped on a Facebook group for the Tour du Mont Blanc. And I was just auditioning the idea on that page of hiking at the end / like late season. And everybody on there was a naysayer.
Man, they were
fear-mongering.
They were mean.
And one guy, his name was Thomas, he private messaged me and was like, I live here. I see all these negative comments and I see the experience that you and your wife have. You just finished this trail, so you're in good shape. You have a weather window. And I think if you come right now and if you were to start it, you could probably blow through it in about a week and you could easily finish it.
And he gave us all the hope we needed. So in that moment, after you got that message, I got on my phone and I looked at tickets from Porto Escondido to Paris, France. And sure enough, we had enough miles and we booked one-way tickets to Paris for, I think, the next day or 2 days after.
I think it was the next day. And we had to get up early and walk from our hotel to the airport, which is about a 5-mile walk on some city roads, but largely the main highway. We do get to the airport.
We walked to the airport, you guys.
Walked to the damn airport with all of our stuff on us. And like we've been in Mexico for 3.5, 4 weeks now.
Almost a month, yeah.
So we got some souvenirs, you know? So we're walking with all that junk. The airport is like very quiet and the guy doesn't understand like what we're doing.
He's so confused why we walked there.
And why our packs are so big and why we're trying to check our trekking poles.
Oh, it was so funny.
And
like
this whole
trying
thing.
to communicate to them about why we cannot leave our trekking poles behind and why we want to check our bags was quite the fiasco.
It was the fiasco, but they had beer like in the terminal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the
fascinating.
terminal was a few strips of seats and some windows
And beer.
and there's a little kiosk. Like there's not a shop, it's a kiosk. And there's just about anything you can want there, but an obscene amount of beer.
An obscene amount of beer, yes. But wasn't this when you had to check our trekking poles in a box?
Yeah. I had to check them there. And I remember walking around with that box because we didn't, it wasn't a one-stop shop. We had to stop in Mexico City.
And then from Mexico City was Paris.
And we're laying on benches in the middle of the night in Mexico City airport with boxes. Oh, wait, not with our boxes, with our backpacks. With our backpacks.
We kept our backpacks.
Which are bursting with like hiking equipment and souvenirs.
Yeah.
We must have been a sight.
We must have been a sight. And I just think about like, we literally we booked a ticket and the T&B just felt so right. It was like, if this person who lives in Chamonix right off the trail is telling us you can do it, then I'm going to trust this and let's just go.
Our flight finally starts to board after what feels like a lifetime. I don't know, 10 hours later. It's a huge layover.
It was a long layover.
So we fly to France, to Paris, France.
And this is Wesley's first time.
This is my first time ever being in France.
And I love France. Like I've been there a few times. So I like feel like pretty confident. Okay, I know how to get us through France.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me that the people of France are wonderful. The people of Paris
are horrible. I did. I gave him a preference. I said, listen, when you get to Paris, people are going to be dicks. They are just very snooty people. But everybody else outside of Paris is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
In France, we finally land. It's pitch black outside. It's raining. And so, as is kind of par for the course for us, we go to an Irish pub or a bar of some sort.
And so we did. We went to an Irish pub to wait for our bus that was going to take us to Chamonix.
And that's where we're going to stop now. You got 2 more parts to this tale. to get us through the Tour du Mont Blanc. And that is a trek that is about, 110 or so miles?
Yeah, I think it is my favorite we've ever done, actually.
And it takes you through 3 different countries on foot. France to Italy to Switzerland and back to France. So we'll pick up here next week with the next installment of this episode. Thanks for listening, and thanks to The Fire Once Lost for letting us use your music for our podcast. We really appreciate
you.
Whether you're trying to find a hike in Mexico, or you're hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, or you just landed in Paris to go and trek on the Tour du Mont Blanc. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what trail you're hiking because we're all just outside walking. Just wanted to let you know that here at our show, Yeti Walks into Base Camp, we don't use AI for anything. AI has detrimental impacts on our environment, and we just don't want any part of it. So just know that when you're listening to our episodes, each one is hand edited by our team with talent and integrity. Thanks for listening.